Let's see. Are we live? Hi, everyone. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it popped up. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Dallas Piana with a little frizzy hair today. Sorry about that. We're having some work done outside the house, and they're drilling like crazy. I forgot all about it. It was happening early today, exactly when I was supposed to go live. So let's hope I can get through this live without so you guys can hear me. And if that's the case, let me know. And you know what? I will postpone this live for a later time when they're gone, or tomorrow, right? Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how to stop being shy and start communicating your program with confidence. All right, look, I was so shy myself. I mean, I can tell you times in my former life when I was a director of nursing, and even though, years of experience, I would still tremble and get nervous in front of a group, okay? But it's not unless you are practicing something over and over and over again does your shyness go away, okay? Your shyness will go when you are intentional, and when you know that your program produces solutions and works for a particular type of person. It's almost your obligation to share that with the world, right? You've got something that's going to help other people that are suffering, okay? Now, they may not be suffering. They might be a challenge, or they might be a frustration, or it may be there's stress about it. But generally, people have been kind of looking for solutions for a long time. They've been in the muck for a long time before they finally get aware, like, I no longer want to be like this, okay? And I can tell you from my own experience. I mean, geez, I knew I was an alcoholic 14 years before I got help. I knew that I needed to quit smoking, for years before I stopped smoking. And now I'm dealing with sugar and flour. I know I got to get off sugar and flour because I'm addicted to it, and I want to lose another 20 to 25 pounds. But it didn't happen like yesterday. I've been dealing with this conversation in my head for a very long time before I sought help. Okay. So you've got to be ready for people. You've got to be ready for people and start sharing your solution so people can start trying it on in their mind. Okay. And the only way I know how to share is to open your mouth or to write about it. Okay. And share what is the solution. Share, who you work with. And you can break it down to specific things you need to know about your ideal client. Okay, you need to know these things. And maybe you did some work on the customer avatar worksheet that I have. Maybe that's something that jump started you, but you got to go a little bit deeper now. Okay. Not only do you need to know the demographic about your ideal client, and what do I mean by demographic is, okay, are they male or are they female? Is it a teenager? Is it are they married or single? Are they pregnant? Are they in postmenopause? Where are they, in a specific niche? Okay. Are they out in the city? Are they living in rural? What is it? Does it matter? Also, does it matter? Okay. About those things. What are they interested in? What kind of things are they reading? Know as much about your ideal client as you possibly can. You also need to know, where are they at currently? Where are they starting from? Like, who is the best client for you? Where are they starting from? Okay. So are they just, remember the customer journey, the buyer's journey? There is unaware to aware, but not really looking for a solution. Where there are solutions but not going after them yet, and then actually deciding to go after a solution. So where are they in the journey? Okay. So for me, my clients, they generally are in the journey. They have clients, they have worked with clients offline, and now want to build a business online. Like, that's where they want to market to and attract clients from the beautiful sea of billions of people online, okay? They know their program works. So that's my point A. Point B is, what do they want? Okay, what do they want? Not what they need. Remember, we've worked on that. People will not buy what they need, okay? They will buy what they want. So what do they want? And you want to say that, talk about that in a post or a live, what it is that they want. So for me, my point B with my clients is they want to learn how to generate leads online, how to get visible on Facebook, okay, specifically Facebook, how to get an audience online so that they can market to you. How do you write posts? What kind of posts do you write? You know, that's what they're looking for. How do you sell online? How do you do it? Okay, it's not like we have storefronts, you know, like brick and mortar. So how do you do it on Facebook? So that's what they want, and that's what I provide, okay? So you want to write out what is it that your specific ideal client wants that you have the solution to. You also want to know, what have they tried before, okay? List 3 to 5 other things that they've tried before. I guarantee you, the person that comes knocking at your door and is ready to work with you has already tried at least 3 to 5 other solutions that didn't work. So you want to find out, what were they? What do they know that's out there in the market? Why didn't they work? Like, where was the person out at? Maybe the solution they tried is a good solution, and yet something came up in their life that had them not reach the outcome. Okay, so you want to find that out, or you want to talk about it. You know, like, what's possible? Where are you different? Where's your program different than what's out there on the marketplace? Okay? There are others. You're not the only, health coach. You are not the only fitness coach. You are not the only spiritual coach or nurse coach. So what differentiates you from other people? You want to write that out, okay? Get it out of up here and get it down on paper so that you can turn it into a post, turn it into live, and start talking to people about your program, okay? And I say your program, but you got to realize you're talking about the program that is going to help someone else. So take the attention off you and talk about what you've got available for somebody else to work to actually get the result. Okay, it's not you that's going to make it happen, right? It's them doing the program that's going to make it happen. So right away, you can get the attention off yourself and put it on your program, because we're defining your program. Okay, what kind of obstacles come up for people? All right, so what are the top 3 to 5 obstacles that come up for people? And then, what are how do you rectify those? How would you rectify those obstacles? Are they real or perceived? You've got to talk about that. You've got to bring what's in the darkness, what they're having in their mind, bring it to light. Shine a spotlight on it. Talk about it. Okay? Like, for me, one of the obstacles people might have is, I'm not tech savvy. Okay? And I'll say, well, my program is very low tech. And whatever challenge you have with technology, I'm here, my husband is here to help you master it and push through and get it something in place. Okay? So basically, we don't do a lot of big tech. If you want to do major landing pages, I'll show you how to do them. But basically, you can sell your program without a lot of tech, or very simplified, and I show you how to do it. Okay? Generally, that's what stops people. They're scared of the tech, but it's just a process that you need to learn so that you can master it. And so there is a piece of tech that you got to learn, and I will show you how to do it. Okay? So think about that. What are the obstacles that get in people's ways? What are the opportunity to learn something new when they work with you? Okay. Another thing you want to be writing out is, what is it costing your client to stay, your ideal client, to stay stuck where they're at? Okay. So, you want to look in all those different areas. where people are, it's costing them. Okay. So for instance, I'll talk about my program. So, or my ideal client, what could be costing them is they're still stuck in a job that they don't like. They're not doing what they think they should be doing, their own, what is their life work. They really want to be a coach. And so they are not fulfilling an internal need. Okay, that's one thing, an emotional internal satisfaction need. Perhaps it's that they're not making money, so they can't provide, do the extra things for their children. It could be what's costing them. Their frustration may rub off on all their relationships in their inner circle, that they're lashing out because they're not producing what they want. They're not getting what they want. So you want to go through things that are either, costing them in the area of finance, in emotional satisfaction or personal development, in relationships, in spiritual development, financial development. Where are they? What is it costing them staying where they are? Like, if they had the breakthrough of getting the results that they want, what would be available to them? You want to write all this down, all of it down. Start writing it down because you want to start articulating it, okay? In lives, in your posts, in your emails. The more you talk about it, the better you will get, and the shyness will go away, and you'll become more intentional of serving people with your solution, okay? The other thing you want to define, you want to know who is a right candidate for your program, okay? You want to define that. What are the attributes, okay, that the person needs to have? Where are they in the buying journey? Are they kind of aware, not aware? Like, what is happening, okay? Or who your program is not for, okay? Like I said earlier, my program is best for people that are already confident with their program. They already have results. They already have had clients and they know it works. They just have to know how to market and sell using Facebook, okay? So they need that piece. They already know. They're already confident. They already have a program set up, okay? That's who I work best with, not people that don't know their niche. Okay, if you don't know your niche, I'll send you to someone that'll help you with your niche. If you don't have a program in place, you need to go to somebody else that shows you how to put together a program. So who I work best with are people that are already confident with what they are doing. Okay, but the way you get confident is you start outlining who your ideal client is specifically, like we're going over now. Okay. And then specifically, what are the 3 or 5 areas in your program that they're going to learn and actually have a shift with, okay? So, what is your methodology as well? What are the outcomes that people will get? So let me talk about methodology in another breath. Let's talk about outcomes. What are the 3 to 5 outcomes if they do the work, they will get, okay? This is what you're going to get. These are the results. You want to spell it out specifically, not vague, specifically. Go back to what they want because your outcomes should be what they want. Okay? Now, you can sprinkle in what they need in your program as well. But you want to sell it, talk about it, share your program, specifically outline, write it down. What are the 3 to 5 things that they will get if they do the work in your program? What are the results? Now, let's talk about your method. Your methods of getting there may be different than your other people in your field. Let's give you an example. A lot of people have heard that, you've got to, let's say I want to lose weight. Okay, somebody wants to lose weight and you're in that industry. Okay, you're a health coach. And people come to you and they think that they've got to exercise every day, do cardio at least 3 times a week, and exercise, hard 7 days a week to be able to lose the weight. But when working with you, that's not your philosophy. Matter of fact, you don't believe that you should be exercised while you're losing weight, and that you have a specific program that guarantees you will lose weight if you follow these steps, and you do not have to do any kind of exercise until you get to a weight that you're stable at. Okay, so that's just a shift from a method showing how you're different from somebody else. Okay, what else is possible working with you? All right. So, a lot of times what you'll find is your method, which is different, will come out in testimonials from your clients. They will tell you how you are different from somebody else. Because remember, before they come to you, they've already worked with 3 to 5 other people, okay, or taken courses or programs or read books, okay? And suddenly, if they're getting results with you, what is different working with you? They will tell you what's different about your program than somebody else's. So for me, my clients tell me that I have a specific step-by-step process that shows people exactly how to get visible, the step-by-step, exactly how to build an audience, how to generate leads, exactly what kind of post to put out there, exactly how to put on a conversion event, okay, to sell from, exactly how to convert people into enrolling with you, okay? So that's what my clients tell me about my program, which is different from other people, okay? So that's what you want to be communicating. All right. You also want to be communicating what is your container of your program. Okay. So what do I mean by container? What are the features of your program? What are the logistics of your program? Okay. What are the length? What does it cost? What kind of support will they get? What kind of, is it live? Is it a course? Is it a hybrid? Is there coaching? Is there live coaching? Like, what is it? Be specific about it. Start writing all that out so you know when people ask you, or when you are not even ask you, but you want to be telling people what are the specifics of your program. For me, my features of my container is a year-long program. Live coaching once a week with some training, okay? You go through a membership site where there are 100 different modules, but you go step by step through each one. And we start with the very beginning. After we go through your assessment, you start where we start with this. We start outlining who you work with, your program, your pitch, your message of your program. We start there, okay? And then from there, we start to build your email list. We start to get content out there, and then we start to generate leads. Those are kind of the steps that we take moving forward in my program. All right, what else? Let me think. Let me just flip over my paper here. I don't want to miss a thing. And then, from that, what you've written all down, then you put it into a story post to communicate it, or you go live like I'm doing right now and you just talk about it. The more you talk about your program, the more you share about it, the more you talk about it, the more you get on, interview someone that has gone through your program, the more people will see what's available working with you. Okay. And I like to say we're working together. We're working together. Okay. I will lead you and direct you on what your next steps are, okay? You're following my lead, but you will soon, at the end of 1 year, actually before, you'll start getting mini wins along the way. People start getting clients by the 4th month that kind of pay for my program, and then you build from there month after month after month as we add certain components in, because you now have the backbone, the foundation on of which you can build from. And that's how it is. Okay. That's why it takes a year. It's not a 30-day program. It's not a 90-day program. You're not going to learn anything in 90 days. You're just starting to change your behaviors and get a structure in place and realize what's needed to market it. It takes a full year to ingrain in you the marketing and sales piece of growing on the internet. Okay. Once you get this down, I mean, you can do it on Facebook. You can move to LinkedIn or another platform, and just, figure out what the nuances are in that platform. But once you go through my program, you have it all in place. You see what's required to get visible, attract an audience, nurture that audience, and convert them into clients. Okay, you guys. So if you're interested in finding out more about my program, which is $650 a month, or I think it's $7,800 for the year, you can definitely DM me. We're getting ready to start a whole new group. If you want to be considered for that, just DM me and we'll get on a call. I'll see where you're at in your process. What are you up to? What have you tried? Basically see if this is the right program for you. Is it the right time for you to be doing this, right? As well. And then if so, then we will get you started right away. Okay. But I'm telling you, you've got to start writing these things out. Write them out. Go back, re-listen to this live, write them out, get it down in a rough draft. We all did it. That's the only way you're going to conquer. When you know your program inside and out, you know your ideal client inside and out, and you realize that, it is up to you. Somebody out there needs help. You've got the solution. You do not want to hold back. You want to show that you have the solution. Some will say yes, most people will say no, but you got to be there for people. So you've got to express yourself. You've got to express your program so people see what's available. Okay. All right. I think that is all I have today, you guys. Sorry I was late. I will tag the rest of the people that said that they wanted to be a part of this conversation, and have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week.